Hello, welcome to Cooking with Cornbread. I've got Madeline here with me again, and this is I'm going to show you how I do shrimp. This is part of I'm doing surf and turf tonight, part of our dinner tonight. You've seen me do steaks, March 14th, fellas. So you see me do steaks and baked potatoes, and I'm just doing steamed vegetables. The bag you microwave. She's checking out all my microphones that I got with my new kit. She said it's fun. So this is going to be a lot like the last video, a little cut up. The strawberry video, a little cut up. Without further ado,
I'm putting this on my head now.
she's putting that on her head now. Alright, so I've got in this pan, I've pre-soaked some skewers. They've been soaking since about 10:30 this morning or so. That's just so they don't burn on the grill. All for about 6 minutes worth of cooking on the grill. But it's alright. You just plan ahead. So I've got two 1 pound bags of actually it's not 1 pound, it's 12 ounces of colossal shrimp that I've been thawing since about 10:30 this morning. I'm getting my cutting board wet. I've got my bag. I've got a marinade, and that's what I didn't do, was write down my cheat sheet on my board here. But I did this marinade earlier too, so it would rehydrate. In this marinade is I doubled it, but I remember it. So it's 1/3 cup of olive oil. Excuse me, I was just watching Madeline talk there. 1/3 cup of olive oil. 4 cloves garlic, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, and I got mine in a little squirt bottle thing. 2 tablespoons of fresh parsley, 1 tablespoon of fresh basil. And it called for some tomato paste, and I didn't put that in there. I don't know why that belongs there. And calls for, I'm gonna tell you what it calls for, and then I'll tell you what I did. Calls for a half teaspoon of salt, half teaspoon black pepper. Now what I done, and let me get it. Like I said, doubled it. And I didn't use fresh herbs. I used dried herbs. So it just so happened that by using the dry herbs, everything else was the same. Is I doubled. I used 2/3 of olive oil and 4 tablespoons. I think it's a 1/4 cup. I think. Anyhow, 4 tablespoons of lemon juice. And 8, I used minced garlic that I bought. But 8 cloves, and it's probably more. I put probably more garlic than what it called for. I like garlic. Big thing is I use dry herbs. I use Italian seasoning, and by doubling it called for 3 tablespoons of each. So that's 1 teaspoon of that. You know, dried. You reduce your fresh to dry by 1/3. So that was 1 teaspoon of this. So I used 2 teaspoons by doubling it. And instead of salt and pepper portion I used Old Bay. Salt portion I used Lawry's. and I let it sit. And my oldest daughter, Kinley, came back. Charlie over there mad. She's in timeout. But Kinley came back, had her taste it, and she thought like I thought. It needed probably another teaspoon or tablespoon of lemon juice, and another teaspoon of Old Bay. Be careful with Old Bay. If it was just me, I'd brush these with olive oil and sprinkle Old Bay on it. But Old Bay is spicy, and my folk don't like spicy. I do, but I ain't cooking for me, not tonight. Now, dude I work with, electrician named Melvin. He said he eat like a king the other day. Went out and eat like a king. Well, we're gonna eat like queens. This is my queen's meal. Yes, this is frozen shrimp. I live in Kentucky. I can't get fresh shrimp. Wish I could. But it is what it is, right? So, like I said earlier, last video I put up, watch, I'm undoing the top of this so it don't get nasty. So roll it down on itself. Gallon Ziploc bag, freezer bag. And I'm going to put, there's some salt and stuff in that, that's a brine that shrimp's in. So he eat like a king, but we eating like a queen. This is my queen's meal, my queen being my wife. And like I said earlier, I did chocolate covered strawberries. That's going to be their dessert. I'm not eating it. I don't like them. But we're going to have New York strip steaks. Thick New York strip steaks. Gonna have shrimp, so that's a surf and turf. There's a lot of flavor in that little brine, like I said, that little juice that's added to it. And jumbo baked potatoes, them big ones. You see me do them great big ones. I'm not going to show you all that. I just wanted to show you how I do my shrimp. And we'll have some mixed veg. So this has been sitting for a minute, a little bit. So grab you a fork, just kind of agitate it because the acid likes to separate from the oil. And I thought that was too much oil, too much herbs, but it turns out it wasn't. So we're going to marinate these in this bag in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. And then after that we'll skewer them. You don't want to marinate it longer than that. Now I'm not going to cook these. I'm going to put these on a baking sheet once a sheet tray. Once I skewer them, I put them on the sheet tray and put them in the fridge. But it's about time to start getting prepped up for. See, I just done something stupid. Put my fork that I mixed that with in the sink, and I knew. So that was enough marinade. I knew there was going to be solids in here. The recipe was enough marinade for 1 pound. I've got over that in here. So we're going to let these marinate for 20 minutes, and I'm going to skewer them up with them skewers I've got soaking. I'm going to use that same pan to put my skewers in. And like I showed you with the brine, We're going to zip this up almost all the way. Then squeeze air out. Fold it over. Work it. Let that air come out. And we'll bring that liquid out to the top. And you've almost got a vacuum seal there. Then mix them up. These are peeled, deveined, colossal shrimp with tail on. Put them on a single layer there. And I thought that I got a pan out. Pretty sure I did. Probably sitting right underneath my nose, knowing me. Put them on a vessel. And we're going to let them hang out for 20 minutes. I'll see you then. Okay, so I found my other sheet tray. The one that I thought I had out was actually in the fridge with strawberries on it. Oops. So I didn't think I could do it, but I got my potatoes going. These have been marinating for 20 minutes. And from what I understand, you don't want to go no longer than that, because you'll not damage the flesh or anything, but you'll damage the flavor of that briny shrimp. So I have dried this off and putting this over here, and you won't be able to, I might show you, probably, yeah, I can do it. Look here. So what I've done is I've got a silicone, this ain't silicone, but a plastic mat. These are definitely damp. You can see them, there's a bow in it, right? We have reintroduced water to those bad boys. I really don't need them on the mat. So what I figure I'll do, I figured for 5 per skewer, and we'll see if we can get that. But tail, head, bring it down, do a little separation there so you want heat to be able to get to everything. Try to do everything the same way. That's for consistency. Tail, head. Consistency is going to give us, I got that one backwards, an even cook. Tail, head. I think I can get 5. So I've got probably a few too many skewers. That's all right. Tail, head, and this is going to be close to the end, but what we do is push everything down, then divide it out. That is a skewer, and you place it in the pan. All right, I'm going to do the rest of these and probably show you the cook. So here are my skewers, and this is not to cook, but I think I'm gonna just sprinkle on some Old Bay. That's it, just a little sprinkle. Sprinkle, sprinkle, right? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Let's get us some foil. Somewhere's up in here. Get past the baking stuff up in that rack. And then we'll continue to marinate in that, but we got it out of the acid. The reason I added that is when I took my plastic bag outside and dumped it out. Bam. Took it out of that plastic bag and dumped the juice out and then threw it away. I don't put oil in my sink. Fat don't go in the sink. But seen a lot of the red from the Lawry's and the Old Bay go out, and didn't see a lot of it in the shrimp, so add a little bit. No problem. I'll see you when I cook. So I wasn't going to include my steaks, but main squeeze here wanted in on the video. So I've got New York strip. I seasoned them last night. A little salt, a little pepper, a little fresh packed black, and
I don't know what you did last night.
Canadian Montreal steak seasoning. The appearance of the steak you can't see on the camera, I don't think. Maybe you can, but they look red to me looking into the view there. But they turn dark, and what that is that's that salt getting in there. And salt kills the steak. But if you get a well marbled steak, marbling being the fat in the steak, it won't kill it. And you can see those golden pieces, that right there, that's garlic that was dehydrated and rehydrated by steak juices. That's where my flavor comes from. Alright, so I've got them out and I'm fixing to start my grill. Really the real reason I wanted to start this up was to tell you that I'm going to bring the shrimp out in about 30 minutes. But you want to let them come up to room temp. I put that foil on, take that foil off. I took the cellophane off of this, the plastic wrap. So let them come up to room temp too, but it won't take as long as these steaks will. These steaks are thick. Look, I'll show you. I ain't lying. They thick, so it'll take a bit longer for them to come up. And what I do is I'll cook these steaks and bring them in. While they rest, I'll cook the shrimp. And shrimp takes 2-3 minutes per side. You rest your steaks 10 minutes. So no harm, no foul. Cook your steaks, let them rest. Cook your shrimp while they're resting. That's just how a meal comes together. Cook your veg. I'm gonna microwave them, so that ain't no problem either. Alright, so the steaks have come off. This is very, very hot. My wife and my children agree. So we're gonna, it's hot. 2-3 minutes aside. You gotta throw them on there. Don't be scared. That one has 6, most of them have 5. Don't let them overlap. Whew. It's hot. That overlapped. That overlapped. Don't let them overlap. 2-3 minutes aside. Take that inside, dude.
Ew. Ew, I can't open the door. Sean, can you open the door?
I got you. Hang on. Keep it open top. That flaring up is from the oil. You get you some tongs, you gotta do that. So that's why you want to keep it open top. It's getting smoky. You might have to adjust. This is over natural hardwood charcoal. You see them. I don't know if you can see. I gotta move that. Let's do this. That flame, I said, was coming from the oil. Wasn't. That's a stick. You stick a lump of coal. See them tails turning pink. So when I turn these, can you see my fingers, baby? So I'm gonna scoop it up and then turn around and then flip it over. So I want essentially I want this end on that end. Some of these, that's why you want it open. It's ready to go.
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Is some of them are, that's hot. Cooking quicker than others. So flip that over. Whew, it's hot. That's part of it, right? When those tails are burnt, yeah. So maybe it would have been better to do these off the heat, but we're gonna let it go a little bit. That's why you do it with the cover off, because these go quick. See the opaque, right? So take them off. Stick's heating up. That's all right. The reason you got smoke in my eyes, I'm sorry. The reason you that's hot. We got a hot fire. And back just a little. They go quick. That's why you want to do a uncovered cook. And you're going to sacrifice little burnt fingers. And if I'm telling you it burns me, it'll burn you. And we got a hot spot and a cold spot, right?
One jump off.
So I got 4 skewers on the cold spot. These are going over too. Alright, so gonna get a plate, put them on. We're gonna cut it up. I'll show you my final plating. Okay, let's make a plate. Take a very sharp knife and scoot everything to the side. Shrimp, steaks, butter, potatoes are out of the shot. These are for my youngest daughter. And look, you might, I mean, it's pink inside. This is gray, but actually, I about cut myself. This little knob will take care of her probably. Yep. And she won't want to, I don't think she'll do, that's hot. I don't think she'll do shrimp. Those potatoes are hot. That's the biggest one I had. Yeah, it's hot. Dump it off. You can't see me doing that. I'll make you sure. Right here. Bam. See, that's hot. That's hot. I lost a piece. It's alright. We'll put that piece back on. Fingertips. Fingertips. Alright. A little butter. I guess I'll give her a shrimp or two just to show you. On a Mickey Mouse plate, how I like to do things. A little butter. This is room temp. A little bit more. My wife is sitting here ready to help me. But she knows I want to show you what I got going on. I don't think she'll eat a shrimp, but bam, just put a couple of shrimp on there. If they don't like it, then tell them to pass it over. Bam. Little salt and pepper on the potato, and there's the pepper. And there's the salt, and do not worry, I will share my final plate. Big plate. I'll see you here in a minute. This is after everything's rested. And there is the plate. Steak, shrimp, potato. We nixed the vegetables.